Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to our little tarot corner. Allie from Toe Tarot here, and it is Sunday, and you know what that means? Sunday sit down. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Not gonna lie to y'all, I am coming at this from kind of a heavy place this week. It's been really, really emotional for me and hard. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, it's been weird. It's been heavy, so I feel like I am stripped down to the bare bones, and I'm not trying to be funny, but that is why for this week I will be using my second edition Antique Anatomy Tarot, and it looks like we have the World card, which, not gonna lie, is kind of refreshing to see. So maybe for this week it'll kind of be lifting, and it'll be a chance to move forward, to move onward into something better if you've had a difficult week like me, or perhaps it is the end of a project you've been working on. Whatever the case may be, it is the end of one cycle and the beginning of another, right? That's the definition that we get for the world. So we are bringing something to a close in order to begin anew this week, which I think is a great message for a Sunday. Today I'm going to go ahead and use my Animal Nature Portals by Jamie Sawyer. Get a little animal energy. Okay. So we have the spider. Weaver, patience, strength, and fragility. Okay, well. We can pretty much stop this reading right here. Yeah. So overall, what I'm getting from this for us this week is that we just need to hold on a little bit longer. That things have been fragile, things have been difficult, things have been uncomfortable or messy, whatever the case may be. Let me straighten this out a little. Sorry about that. It's really hard to kind of get my camera angles right. Anyway, yeah, so hold on just a little longer is kind of what I'm getting from that. So let's go ahead and pull some tarot tiles here. I'm just going to use my Sawyer's Path tarot tiles on the sides. Let's see. Let's kind of read for what are we closing and what are we beginning this week. Let's kind of pull that way. Okay, so we have the Hierophant. Ace of Cups. And we have the World. Okay. So, you may have been having issues with authority this week. You may, honestly, just reading for myself here, there's been a lot of emotions surrounding kind of like the way of the world and the issues going on in today's world. Definitely been feeling a lot of emotional energy there, and that's quite fitting. Also, Mercury was in retrograde. It has since returned to normal. It's no longer in retrograde, so hopefully that will bring a close to the extreme emotions that I felt this week. I may have referenced this before, but I am one of those people. I am very, very empathic, and so there are just days where I break down and I can't help it, and I wish that I didn't. That's not true. I don't wish that I didn't, but sometimes it's just heavy. But I recognize that it's not mine to carry. It's not necessarily my load, but that doesn't stop it from hurting, and that doesn't stop it from being difficult. And so I still will feel those emotions and just cry and just feel the heaviness, and then it passes. But it's kind of a time that I just take to absorb the world, I guess. I don't know. So that's where I've been. That's kind of what this is meaning for me. I don't know about you all, but let's see what we've got looking forward for this week. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands, kind of bringing things back into perspective here, kind of bringing the four corners back into focus. We have the Temperance card. Again, another card of balance. So things are kind of returning to status quo this week, it looks like. Let's pull one more. What is this? I'm having trouble counting. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have the Nine of Wands here. So carrying the load, persevering through difficulty, anxiety, but being able to persevere and being tough through the situation. Well, that's refreshing. That's hopeful to me. It really, really looks like, as I said, things are going to come kind of back into balance this week, maybe come back into focus for us a little bit. It's going to kind of return to equilibrium because we have been able to persevere and we have made it through, right? It's important not to forget that even in the tough times, sometimes just making it through is all that can be asked of you. And that is okay. That is good even. You know, sometimes it's just a game of let's just make it through to the next thing. Cycles don't last forever. We need to have patience with ourselves and remember that even when we feel fragile, that's okay. We can make it. We can persevere and we will. We've been in tough spots before and we've made it out alive. So that's kind of a hopeful message to me this week that things are going to kind of come back into perspective and back into focus. So today I'm going to use my Antiquarian Lenormand, and we're going to put some Lenny cards down at the bottom. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel really drained. Really not excited to start my work week. Can't lie. Okay, so we have Snake. We have Sun. Okay. And we have Garden. So, wow. It's just, I really feel like I'm reading for myself more than I am for y'all. So the Snake is about deception. It's about, could be about false narratives. It could be people in your life being dishonest. It could be really any kind of deception. It could be you kind of being dishonest with yourself. So there's a lot we can read into there. I feel like it is kind of referencing the fact that our emotions have been kind of betraying us a little bit, that it's not a spot we're going to stay in forever, that, it's not something that we need to carry all the time. It's not something that we have to hold all the time. As I've said before, holding emotional space is very important. Being empathetic is not a bad thing. Feeling emotions is not a bad thing. But sometimes getting caught up in those emotions can make you feel like you're going to stay there forever. And that's not reality, right? When you have that inkling of things will never get better, that's deception talking. That's things change, things constantly evolve, and that is the one constant that we have in our lives is change. So this isn't going to be forever. And it really is made clear by the Sun, which is all about positivity. It's the Sun in tarot. It's positivity, it's happiness, joy, energy, optimism, a new day. Things are turning around right here. And also the Garden here speaks about community and about having those people around you that care about you and and realizing that you're not alone. And, sometimes when we're going through a difficult emotional time, it can be very, very important to be reminded that we are not alone here. And so this week, it may be kind of good for you to reach into your own garden and reconnect with important people in your life. Maybe spend some time with a good friend, or spend some time with family, people who can kind of reground you and refresh your soul, so to speak. Yeah, I love that for us. So let's go ahead and pull some points to ponder here in the corners. Wrap up this reading. Okie dokie. So we have when, focus, sleep, and observe. So when is an age-old question. When is such a classic thing that we are always searching for. When are things going to change? When is this going to improve? When am I going to feel better? When is my luck going to change? That's a constant question in our minds. And I think this focus up here in the top right is to kind of remind us that we don't always necessarily have to know the answers. Because if we are constantly searching for when things will change, it's going to exhaust us. It's going to wear us out, and we're not going to be prepared for the next thing. We're not going to be able to look forward because we're going to be stuck in that place. And then down here we have sleep and observe. So be good to yourself this week. We spoke just a minute ago about reconnecting with those people in your life that kind of refresh your soul, but refresh yourself. Make sure you're getting rest this week. Make sure that you are prioritizing your sleep, because that will help your body physically recover. It will help your mind. And honestly, when I have a good night's sleep, it really does help me be able to sort through any emotional difficulty that I'm going through as well. I think this kind of also ties into hydrating. Hydrate, drink lots of water, make sure you're sleeping well, make sure you're feeding your body good food. That can be another thing that kind of ties into being down, is if you're feeding yourself food that's not really nourishing to your body, that can also kind of drag you down. It's not something that we need right now, it seems. So, and then observe. I think that for me is showing us that we just need to kind of sit back right now. Sit back, realize that things are going to come back into balance. Maybe quit focusing so hard on the win. Focus instead on our self-care, and be confident in the fact that this difficulty that we've been having lately is not our own, and it is not going to last forever. And we just need to observe the good things. We need to observe time and energy with the people that will refresh us and bring us back into focus and into perspective, so that we can tackle this week. I'm a little bit speechless this week. It really feels like this definitely is a very, very personal reading to me. So if there's anybody else that kind of feels this way or has been struggling, know again that you are not alone. Even if my exact message doesn't resonate with you, maybe just seeing some of these images, if you're kind of able to get a different message from that, wonderful. If none of this resonates with you, that's okay. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of entertainment. Maybe keep this message in your back pocket for when you need to remember it later. It may not be relevant right now, but if things do come up, if things become difficult at any point, this week or even any time in the future, kind of remember this message that things do come back around, and sometimes focusing on ourselves And observing the positivity in our life and observing the good things that are in front of us and that we do have will help us refocus and bring things back into perspective and balance, and will help us carry through this tough time. So I hope that you all enjoyed this reading. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to me blab as always. And until next time, bye guys.